Hey, it's Joe from I Know Jax, the show where we help you find the best places to eat, drink, and be local. Today we're going to move around a bit. We're going to Jax Beach, Amelia Island, and taking a quick road trip down to Tampa. That and much more in this week's episode of I Know Jax. I would say that Chef Kenny Gilbert is a really busy guy. He's one of those top chef guys who's done all kinds of cool stuff. But what's important to us is that he has several restaurants here in our area. There's Gilbert's Social on South Side, Gilbert's Underground Kitchen on Amelia, and this one in Jax Beach.
A gentleman by the name of Jim Franks reached out to me and said that, hey, I have this great property on the beach, but I need some help. And he says that, I want to see if I can come out and consult and check it out, the property. So after meeting Jim and building a relationship with he and his fiance Cassandra and walking the property, I was like, man, this place has good bones to it. We're in a 10,000 square foot building and it's just massive. And before it was known as Sea Chasers. On the west end of the building, where we are right now, is hot chicken, fish, and shrimp. And I felt that based on the evolution of how I've been running my restaurants and we've been growing, that to do a restaurant focusing on fried fish, chicken and shrimp, we could actually come up with something special.
So Kenny, tell me how you guys make this great BLT you got. I know you have a little twist on it.
We're gonna do our KG's BLT biscuit.
Okay.
So we have a smoked, boneless and skinless chicken thigh.
Okay.
So we season with our chicken seasoning. We smoke it to about 130, 140 degrees, so still a little undercooked. Cool it down properly. And then we have a soaking in a buttermilk egg batter. Lots of flavor. We're adding to our dredge. Our dredge is a combination of flour, cornstarch, and more chicken seasoning.
Okay. What's chicken seasoning?
So my chicken seasoning is...
You're letting the secret out now.
Yeah, I know, right? I created this when I was cooking for Oprah Winfrey. And I kind of designed this fried chicken seasoning based on what she likes to eat. Okay. And her flavor profiles. So there's a lot of black pepper and ground mustard seed and cumin and coriander, crushed pepper, salt. And
so like Grandma does, but with a kick. It sounds like
little kick for sure. So we take Duroc pork belly. We season it with brown sugar, salt, and a Moroccan spice.
Moroccan spice?
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
So I like that. I love it with pork. So we rub it all on there. We smoke it with a combination of pecan and oak wood until it hits about 180 degrees. We then cool it down.
You don't have many dishes that don't hit your smoker at some point, do you?
No, a lot of things that hit the smoker. That's kind of like that other flavor.
Right, that's the hidden thing. What was that sets it off? These are cheddar jalapeno.
Cheddar and jalapeno biscuits.
Got it.
Yep.
Cool.
We're working with LA Urban Farms.
Gotcha.
And we got a couple lettuce towers that are going to be giving us.
That'll be
so they should be ready to go here pretty soon.
Everything you do has that sort of, you've gone the extra mile, it seems like.
Well, that's the goal. You want to develop your team so that they're not just cooking something out of a package.
Right.
You want to show that like this is where it comes from. This is chicken seasoning, which we're seasoning up.
And you won't tell me what's in that, right?
It's a lot of love. When I opened up Gilbert's Underground Kitchen almost 3 years ago, we basically had our signature fried chicken, which just took off, as well as our catfish and our shrimp. And then I wanted to make a spicy version. And my chicken sauce, I wanted to have something that wasn't like Nashville. So we made our own. It's lard-based, South Carolina barbecue sauce, dial pepper mash, our dial pepper hot sauce, my Raging Cajun spice blend, and black pepper, white pepper, crushed pepper. So I made this beautiful sauce.
So this is Kenny Gilbert's version of the BLT that Chef made for us in the kitchen, but I want to bring your attention to the stars of the show, in my opinion. No, definitely compliment this. This one is called The Beast, and that's named after Chef, of course. And then I want to bring your attention to this little thing, because it's calling my name and reminding me a little bit of home, because this is made with Old Smoky salted caramel whiskey and it's got some coffee ice cubes. It's pretty cool. These things call my name, I'm just saying. I look forward to seeing you guys right here. Is your mouth watering now? All this deliciousness in his Jax Beach location is gonna challenge my waistline. Hey, and welcome to What's Brewing in Jax. Every week I take a look at what's happening in the craft beer scene in the Jacksonville area. I'm at Really Good Beer Stop on 3rd Street in Jax Beach, and today I'm having a Kirschgosa from Victory Brewing. I know it's summer and I know it's been hot lately, so maybe you don't think Underdark from Intuition is something you're looking for right now. But if you're a fan of the beer, here's a really cool event at Mellow Mushroom in Avondale. They call it the Vertical Underdark. It's a tap takeover, and Intuition will be featuring 4 years of Underdark from the years 2015 to 2018, as well as 6 other exciting brews. How about that? That's on Thursday, June 14th from 5 to 8 p.m. On Friday, it's brewery night right here at Really Good Beer Stop. This time, the Florida brewery Balligans is coming. Head brewer Bobby is coming to the store. I took a peek at their website, and they have a peanut butter Hefeweizen called Effin' Awesome, and that caught my interest. I don't know what beers they'll be having available for brewery night, but I'm intrigued, and you don't want to miss this one either. That's on Friday, June 15th from 5 to 9 p.m. right here at Really Good Beer Stop. They come up with all kinds of tricks to try to make me run. They throw paint at you, they spray you with foam, make you run an obstacle course, have zombies chase you, or roller girls. But here's something new. Veterans United Brewery, 1980s Totally Awesome 5K. Now, if you know your 80s music, this one's for you. Carrie Speckman. You can dress up as your favorite 80s celebrity, Madonna, Hulk Hogan, or the Flock of Seagulls even. There will be 80s music, a Rubik's Cube contest, and after the 5K, you can also enjoy a pint at Veterans United Brewery. The run takes place at Veterans United Saturday, June 16th. We also have a big birthday to celebrate. Green Room Brewing is turning 7 years old. They're doing that with a big party and this secret spot bottle release. Firewater Tent Revival will be there, plus Joystick Food Truck is serving up grub, and they'll have lots of beers on tap in the Brewer's Bar. Secret Spot Rum with coffee, Secret Spot Double Barrel, Bourbon Barrel, Thin Mint, just to mention a few. I know I don't want to miss this one. The party starts at noon at Green Room Brewing. Make sure to stop by and wish them happy birthday. Now on Sunday, there's an even bigger reason to celebrate because it's Father's Day, and there are lots of events to choose from for that. Wicked Barley has Father's Day brunch. That's from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And yes, you can call and reserve your seats for that one. Or you can take Dad to Atlantic Beach Brewing Company because when you buy a pint for yourself, Dad's is free. Main and Six counters with a water marbling workshop. I don't know what that's about, but they are offering 20% off growlers, crowlers, pints, and merchandise for Father's Day. Now, let's be honest. I think the water marbling workshop just happened on the same day. Hey, it doesn't matter where you go for Father's Day with Dad, but I strongly suggest making a local craft beer place. You can't go wrong with that. That's it for this time. Now, if you want to try a Kirschgosa from Victory Brewing, you need to hurry because at Really Good Beer Stop, they rotate their 20 beers on tap all the time, so there's always something new. Cheers. Jacksonville Beach's ultimate craft beer and growler store. I love craft beer, but every now and then I'll venture out and have a nice glass of wine or a cocktail. Basically, I like everything that tastes good. Taste is really important to me. Now that I've been doing I Know Jax for over 6 years, I would even say that I've been a bit spoiled. Nowadays, I get to go to restaurants and eat really, really good food often. I'm also trying to eat healthier. I'm not always successful there, but I do try another thing, and that is traveling, and that's what we're going to talk about next. When the weather is nice, I like to hop into my car and take off to go somewhere fun. I like feeling the fresh breeze flow through my hair, driving down the road, music blaring, you know, that kind of stuff. Now, if you've seen the car I drive, you know that that is not part of my reality. I drive an old car. Some might even call it vintage, and the only reason my hair would be flowing in the wind is because I have to roll down the window because the AC doesn't work. But anyway, I like the idea of a road trip, and here's one of my favorite Florida destinations. There's always a lot to do in Tampa, and the city has a great international flair, beautiful architecture, and history. The 1891 Tampa Bay Hotel, now a National Historic Landmark, is home to the University of Tampa and the Henry B. Plant Museum. Plant and the railroad played an important role to put Tampa on the map, and this museum makes you feel like you've been whisked back to the early 19th century. The 2.5-mile long Riverwalk along the Hillsborough River connects downtown restaurants, museums, and parks. At the very end of the Riverwalk, you'll find the restaurant Ulele. The restaurant is housed in what used to be an old waterworks building. They even have their own brewery. Ulele takes its name from a local Native American princess who saved the life of a Spanish explorer nearly 500 years ago. Ulele serves food inspired by the different kinds of cuisine that exist in the area: Italian, Spanish, German, and Cuban. They also use all domestic products, most coming from Florida. The food was just amazing. The lager they make at Ulele has won several awards, and it's super low in carbs but has a lot of taste. There's more to explore at the waterfront. This was one of my favorite ways to see Tampa. And speaking of water, there's also the Florida Aquarium. Personally, I just love aquariums. I can wander around for hours, and the Florida Aquarium has over 20,000 sea creatures and a touch stingray tank. When happy hour rolls around, I'd suggest Ciro's Speakeasy. You need a password to get in. It's dark, cozy, and their craft cocktails are phenomenal. Next, I headed out to the refinery in Seminole Heights. The refinery uses local Florida ingredients and changes the menu several times a week. Chef Greg told me that they never put the same dish back on the menu, so it's always new, innovative, and made from scratch. This was one of the best meals I've ever had. Ybor City has managed to regain its identity. It's still a melting pot with Cuban coffee, cigars, nightclubs, and unique eateries at every corner. And chickens. Cigars are still being made by hand in a few places in Ybor City. There's no shortage of restaurants in Ybor City. The famous Columbia restaurant started here back in 1905. It's the oldest continuously operated restaurant in Florida. One of the largest Spanish restaurants in the world, taking up an entire city block. The Spanish Club in Ybor City is now a restaurant called the Chop House. And how about this one? Bernini. It's an old bank building. Craft beer is booming in this area. Cigar City, of course, is the big one, but there are a lot of other breweries. Lots of them. Maybe that's why they call this funky building in downtown Tampa the Beer Can. Before I left Ybor City, I went to Cuba. No, I really did. The Jose Marti Park is actually Cuban territory. It was time for me to say goodbye to the chickens. So much history and so many stories. It's such a fascinating place to visit. That's why I'll be back. This summer I'm planning to do more road trips for I Know Jax. Usually when I do travel stories, I stay in Florida or South Georgia, but we'll see. I haven't finalized everything yet, so who knows where the adventure will take me this summer. I do my best to support small local businesses in the community by telling their stories. I believe I can help small local businesses thrive. It's important to shop local. I know it sounds like an overused slogan, but it isn't. Think about it this way. If you visit a small local restaurant and buy a dinner for 4, it can make a huge impact on their day. Now, if you visit a large chain restaurant, your spending doesn't really do that, and the money doesn't benefit the local community area either.
We have all kinds of different Cuban sandwiches, your Elena Ruth, the Medianoche, the Cuban, just to name a few.
Wait a minute. Tell me about this. I thought there was a Cuban sandwich.
Oh, all Cubans come, not just the food, but the people come in all shapes and colors.
Chris is gonna show me how to make an authentic Cuban sandwich.
We're gonna go ahead and slice that down the middle. We're gonna add some pickles. You don't want to put too many pickles on there because you don't want to take away the flavor of the pork.
Gotta add some
You're gonna
ham.
get some tavern ham on there. Again, you don't want to put too much because the star of the show
The star of the
is
show is the
pork.
To prepare the pork, now how do you guys do that?
We slow cook our pork here. I will put it in at about 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
Set it to about 220 degrees and let it go all the way till the next morning. So
Wow.
it'll cook for about 10 hours. And we marinate it in our mojo sauce.
For a southerner, barbecue sauce would be the choice here, but Chris says that he uses mojo on everything. So add extra mojo on top of that. That's a huge sandwich.
Well, it looks bigger now, but once you press it,
Cool.
it brings it back down to size.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Basically, it's a panini press, but it's smooth tops. Paninis have the ridges, so that's pretty much the difference between a Cuban and a panini. We're gonna go ahead and let that toast for a few minutes, get the bread nice and crunchy on the outside, melt the cheese a little bit.
So that bad boy looks like it's about ready, right?
Cheese is about ready to go. Make sure our bread is nice and toasted.
Oh my goodness. Now that's the standard Cuban, right?
That is a traditional Cuban sandwich.
Tradition.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've seen a lot of people are coming by to get coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker myself, but
I can't live without it. At least 5 times a day, little shots, that's all you need.
a shot of coffee.
Yeah,
I
shot
like
of
that
coffee.
idea. I'll-
Next, we're gonna do the midnight sandwich or the medianoche. The medianoche originated in Tampa. The old Cuban men working in the cigar factories
Down
there.
in Ybor City.
Down in Ybor City.
Okay, cool.
They wanted a sandwich that would be good for them in the middle of the night, hence
Right.
medianoche. Medianoche
Gotcha.
translates to middle of the night.
Gotcha. The midnight sandwich is the same as a Cuban, but it uses sweet egg bread, almost like Hawaiian bread. Then Chris finishes the midnight in the press. Next, the Elena Ruth. The story is that Elena was a debutante and a very picky eater. We're using the sweet egg bread for Elena Ruth too. This is almost like a dessert sandwich.
It's a very sweet sandwich, but the saltiness of the turkey
Gotcha.
gives it that nice balance.
It has cream cheese, strawberry jam, and turkey. This one looks huge too, but that's before the press. This is a delicate sandwich, so Chris doesn't press it too hard. The Elena Ruth.
So you got your strawberry jam, your turkey, and your cream cheese on the bottom.
You've seen a little bit behind the scenes here at Hola Cuban Cafe. We made a Cuban sandwich, and Chris brought out some ham croquetas and Marisol's grandmother's recipe of black bean soup. And of course, we got Cuban coffee and this soda that's like a Cuban root beer. See you guys at Hola. Lately, I've been visiting Fernandina Beach a lot because I've been riding my bicycle there. It's actually a really nice ride. I take the Mayport Ferry across. There's a really nice bike trail that goes that way, so I really enjoy it. I've seen a lot of wildlife, from gopher turtles to bunnies, deer, and an egret who almost dragged its feet across my helmet when it took off from the side of the trail. In the month of June, I'm doing the Great Cycle Challenge to raise money for kids' cancer research. I've created a team, and we're trying to raise $2,000. And so far, it's going pretty good. I'm just hoping it doesn't rain too much more. You can join my team if you want. You can ride as much or as little as you want, or if you don't ride, please support the team with a donation. Even the smallest amount is going to help us reach our goal. That's it for this week. I'll be back again next Sunday on CW17 at 6:30 p.m. But before then, I'll see you on the internet.